Greetings. I'm Ezekiah Olanlege Oluwafemi, a school administrator. We're going to continue our teaching today from where we stopped last lesson. Last lesson, we look at 6 important communication tips for teachers. Today, we're looking at barriers to communicating in the classroom. Any factors that impedes the exchange of information between the teachers and the students, or vice versa, is called a communication barrier. Every good teacher must strive to eliminate communication barrier in the class. If you actually want to enjoy your lesson and you want your objectives to be achieved, you must strive to eliminate communication barrier in the class. What are the examples of communication barrier in the classroom? I'm going to give you some example of communication barrier. Number 1, noise. Noise either from pupils, students, or external sources, they are barriers to communication. That is why a teacher must try as much as possible to make sure that no noise disturbs him or her in the class when he's teaching. Number 2, poor lighting, especially during the rainy season when there is darky atmosphere, that will serve as barrier to teaching. Number 3, inadequate or inappropriate teaching facility or materials. You use inadequate material in the class as a teacher, that will affect your teaching, and that's going to serve as barrier to communication in the classroom. Number 4, interruption by other teachers. When you are teaching the class and your fellow teacher, they start coming in and going out, making a jest, discussing with you, that will affect the communication in the classroom, and that is a barrier. Now, number C, poor class management method on the part of the teacher. If you don't use appropriate method to impart knowledge to students, that will affect your teaching, and that is also a barrier to communication in the classroom. Number 6, dislike of teacher by the student. You know, one of the teachings I told you that students must love you. You must do something to create interest of the students. If the students don't love you, it will definitely affect your teaching, and that is also a barrier to communication in the classroom. Number 8, dissonance caused by the teacher unknowingly. For example, the teacher's dressing. If you don't dress properly, you put on a cloth that exposes your body, that will affect your teaching, to affect your communication. What of body odor, disposition, your eardo, your phone call, you are teaching and your phone rings, it will affect the communication in the class. In fact, a teacher is supposed not to take his phone to class. If there's a need for you to take your phone to class, you must put it on what? Mute. Number 9, inaudible voice of the teacher. A teacher must be audible. If you are not audible, you will not be able to carry the student along. They will not even hear you very well. You must be audible. Number 10, poor handwriting of the teacher is also a communication barrier. If you don't have a good handwriting as a teacher, you need to go and learn. If your handwriting is very good, students will always like to listen to you. They will always like to write whatever you write on the chalkboard. But if your handwriting is bad, that will serve as a barrier to your teaching in the classroom, and is also a communication barrier. Let's look at number 11. Unnecessary words used by the teacher. We have some teachers, they do use unnecessary words. Just like a teacher that says, you are too lazy, you are not serious. Nonsense. Those words, they are unnecessary words. A teacher supposed not to use that words in the classroom. Let me give you another one, and that is 12. That is big and difficult to understand words used by the teacher. You know, I've told you can't say, oh, I want to impress students with my grammar. Let the students know that I understand grammar. I've told you say a word and the student does not understand it, communication has not taken place. Do not use difficult words. Do not use big words. You use that and the student doesn't understand you. That shows that you have not communicated, and that is also a barrier to communication in the classroom. What about old and outdated words? That is number 13, used by the teacher rather than the current. As a teacher, you must use current words, not old words, not outdated words. But now you can say home task instead of you saying home work. You can, for students in junior school these days, they don't say English language. It is called English studies. Even in grammar, you say stand up. No, you can just say stand. Also, shall we rise? That is correct. You can't say, if you say shall we rise up? No. Use a current word, not outdated words. Not outdated word. Let me give you another one. Number 14. Words with the same pronunciation but different meanings. Let me give you another one. Abbreviation with multiple meanings. Don't just write an abbreviation or abbreviated words on the chalkboard and believe that the students have understood. It's a barrier. For example, if you write LOL on the chalkboard, it means a lot of things to students. It could mean lot of love, it could mean lot of laugh, it could mean laugh out loud. Do not use an abbreviated word that has different meaning. If you are to use it at all, it must be explained to students. What about PTF? PTF is an abbreviated word. It has different meaning. It could mean Parent Teachers Forum. It could mean Presidential Task Force. It could mean Petroleum Trust Fund. You get what I'm saying? Do not, if you are to use any abbreviated word, you make sure you explain to students. Wrong use of punctuation is another communication barrier in the class. That is why a teacher must try as much as possible to study very. I'm not an English teacher. I'm not an English major. You must know how to put the right punctuation. Put stop where you're supposed to put full stop. Put question mark where you're supposed to put a question mark. Put comma where you're supposed to put comma. And if you can do this, it will help you in the classroom. I believe with what I've just said now, I've explained to you some of the barrier to communicating in the classroom. You are welcome. We'll continue from next lesson.